What is consciousness and how did it emerge in the first place? Through this video, I will try to break down the steps. Of course, I'll be using my consciousness to do this. It might seem simple at first, but they become more complex the more you think about it. Where does consciousness begin? What has it? What doesn't? Even top scientists struggle to define it. The best definition I saw while researching for this video is this: consciousness is the awareness by the mind of itself and its surroundings. This is not exactly the same as intellect, and consciousness has evolved over countless years to become what it is in people and animals today. It's not as simple as saying that's conscious and that isn't. Some people argue that rocks and tables are conscious. While that's unlikely and nearly impossible to prove either way, it touches on an important aspect of consciousness, that it exists on a gradient scale with varying degrees of complexity. At the most basic level, consciousness is only found in living creatures. Living means it uses energy to sustain and reproduce. So energy is at the core of consciousness. It developed to help life find and manage energy. They're incredibly small and simple life forms that show what could be the beginnings of consciousness, the lowest end of the gradient. When these creatures need energy, they will move faster than usual but continue random patterns. When they find a rich source of nutrients, they slow down but still move randomly. This is the base level of consciousness, no real awareness of the environment but beginning to control towards energy. As we move up the gradient, larger creatures like certain worms will move when hungry and stay still when they are not. These animals also use chemoreceptors to pick up chemtrails of food, hunting them down. This is sensory movement. After eating, they'll hide in the first place that they feel is safe. This is a higher level of consciousness, sensing a part of their environment. Now let's take a large step up: vision. Vision helps creatures create a map of the larger parts of their environment and their immediate presence. Animals that can see food will eat it, and those that can see shelter will use it. It's no longer random movements, but there's more. Above this, we find animals that can remember environments that they've been to before. They can return to these places for more food in the future and think about returning to them. We are entering advanced levels of consciousness with memory. This site-based memory allows animals to find consistent energy and stay safe consistently when they're not hungry. Large memories in animals are beginning to emerge. For example, flies will eat from a fruit, get swatted at, fly away to be safe, and return to the same fruit even though they couldn't see it while they were defending themselves. This is called object permanence, the understanding that objects exist even when we don't see them, and this is displayed in mammals, birds, and human babies at around 8 months old. Chickens have even been shown to develop object permanence within a day of hatching. Object permanence leads to an awareness of time. Step 6, time sensing. I know that this tree with yummy fruit still exists because I've seen it before and I remember it. I now understand the past. Of course, I'm living in the present and looking at the tree, and I bet that the fruit tree will be there in the future when I am hungry again. Numerous studies have been done on which animals understand time. One famous example is chickens refusing a meal in the present if they know that a better or larger one is coming later. Other birds and creatures like squirrels take this energy-saving time technique to the next level, using awareness of others. Squirrels will eat until they're full, then stockpile nuts for later, showing time awareness, object permanence, memory, and every other step we've mentioned. But they do something else. While they're hiding their food, they're thinking that other squirrels might come by and steal from their stockpile. That's why they hide it. This would leave them energy short in the future, so they're also thinking about time. This indicates that the squirrels think about the awareness of others, allowing them to place their thoughts into others' bodies, allowing for empathy and strategy. A huge step has now come across out of awareness of others: communication. It's a large step in the gradient, and it's particularly large when you get into language, which builds on the awareness of others' thoughts. Language allows us to solidify and exchange our own thoughts and ideas. How much more energy can we collect and preserve by working together rather than working alone? We've now seen every major building block in the gradient of consciousness. It all starts with the urge for more energy. Now we've found the energy and shelter. Now we can use vision for our immediate energy gathering and shelter needs. Next, memory leads to more consistent eating and safety. From memory, a sense of time arises, which allows us to plan for the future and learn from the past. Planning future meals leads to thinking about how others may think about our energy and our shelter, which helps us to further protect ourselves and our energy stores. From here, the enormous step of language emerges, allowing us to exchange more energy than ever before. This leads to population growth and the ability to shape our environment for however we see fit for our energy needs. Energy is so easy for most of us to get now that we can order it whenever and wherever we want. Sometimes even out of pure boredom, only to return to thoughtless scrolling.